and stupid draw off and say, listen.
No, and we don't encourage that kind of behavior. We will not encourage that kind of behavior. Like I said before, we want to police in a professional way.
Mm-hmm.
That is the mandate of this commissioner, that we be professional, a resourceful and professional organization.
Okay. Listen, ladies, it was my pleasure. It was too short, but it was my pleasure just sitting here and having a conversation with you. Everybody appreciated it based on the feedback that we got. You each have perhaps 10 seconds each for a final comment. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Shanika. What I would want to say to the listening audience, particularly parents, like I said, be a listening ear to your children. If a child comes to you, or if children have issues and they come to you as a parent, listen to them. If you have to, call the police. Okay, those persons who may be violating children, allow the child to enjoy their innocence, to grow up. Mm-hmm. Okay? I always want to say that, children are our future. Okay? Give them an opportunity to grow into that future.
Absolutely. And you, Sharia?
I would just like to say, Shanique, that we as officers, we have educated officers on the force that are doing our thing, both male and females, and we just need to give it an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. And Shanta?
And of course, I would want to say that the police is still your friend. Mm-hmm. Give us a call if you need help in any situation. Mm-hmm. Call 911, call 919. But we are there to help, and we will render whatever assistance it is that you require.
Ladies, we must do this again. Next time,
Definitely.
I think I'll bring some treats and
Yes,
we'll just
yes,
really be
yes,
chilled,
yes.
right? Thank you all so much. Of course, my first guest for the first hour as well from Mount Tabor Church, and of the wonderful ladies here from the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and all of you for participating today. So wonderful. Thank you so much. Stay close. The news at 6 is straight ahead.
Yeah, we got it. Discuss your breakthroughs.
The views and opinions expressed on this show or program are not a reflection of the Bahamas Radio Network and, as an extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up first at 6, nurses across this country head back to work today following a massive sick-out yesterday. Some 200 contract workers facing disciplinary action after violating their employment agreement. And the Marriott Courtyard making big moves in the tourism sector.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Nurses in the public healthcare system were back on the job today after staging a mass sick-out across the country yesterday. Fern Carey tells us more.
Nurses in the public healthcare system reported to work Tuesday after staging a mass sick-out Monday. The sick-out significantly impacted the delivery of public healthcare services, prompting the closure of government clinics and the cancellation of a number of surgeries at the Princess Margaret Hospital. Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands says he met with nurses union leaders last night in order to resolve some of the chronic issues plaguing nurses, such as a controversial shift system, the confirmation of nurses who have served for more than 3 years, and outstanding monies owed.
The issue of mileage allowance would have been brought up. We employed the help of the Director of Labor. We would have seen to it that some $55,000 of outstanding mileage accrual for a group of nurses was placed on the pay sheet, and the expectation was that they should have had that money in their accounts last payday. We now need to confirm whether those instructions from health were carried out. If it was not on the pay sheet in April, I am advised that it will definitely be on the pay sheet in May.
Now, we reached out to President of the Nurses Union, Amanja Williams, for comment, but our calls were not returned up to news time. We'll have more details in our 7 p.m. newscast. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Fern. Education Minister, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, says a disciplinary exercise is underway for some 200 contract workers at the Ministry of Education who violated their employment agreement. Mr. Lloyd says this exercise affects a number of persons.
Yes, but that process continues, and it's across the system. There have been some terminations, and there will be more, and there will be further disciplining of those who we think warranted. Listen, it is the intention of our ministry to engage as many persons who are suitably qualified and are interested and are capable and who wish to be a part of this revolution in education that is now presently underway, right? But there are obligations that they have to fulfill. First of all, they've got to come to work. And when they do come to work, they must come to work on time and they must do their jobs. I think that is only fair.
The Shantytown Task Force will hold a number of town hall meetings with Shantytown residents as efforts continue to get a handle on shantytowns nationwide. Labor Minister, the Honorable Dion Folk, says the meetings will come following the release of the Shantytown report sometime next week. He said the details of that report will be made public. Meanwhile, Mr. Folks said the first town hall meetings will be held in the Carmichael Road area in order to let Shantytown residents know what the government plans to do next.
We intend to have 2 town hall meetings, one in the shantytowns themselves and another one for the subdivisions around the shantytowns. So we can tell everybody exactly what our timetable is, what the notice period is in terms of for the residents to move. And we're also having a meeting with all of the leaseholders of the land of the shantytowns, and they're all Bahamians. So we intend over the next week or so to have a meeting with them to advise them of the notice period, to have them take certain legal action.
The Ministry of National Security and the Royal Bahamas Police Force launched the National Neighborhood Watch Council last evening at the police force's East Street headquarters. The goal is to bridge the gap between the police and the community when it comes to crime prevention. Representatives from councils across the island are members of the organization, and they will be assisted by police liaison officers to lower crime numbers. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis touted the new program as one of his government's primary initiatives in fighting crime nationwide.
The council, which is made up of a neighborhood watch group leaders and civil society, is designed to provide evidence-based crime prevention support and guidance to existing neighborhood watch programs. The council will also facilitate the establishment and strengthening of new neighborhood watch programs throughout the country, including the inner city communities of New Providence.
Now, the new community-based policing initiative receives the full endorsement of the Ministry of National Security, the Honorable Marvin Dames.
We have any number of plans to push technology as well. You would have heard the introduction of CCTVs in some of these communities. Communications, a room will be established in any number of these police stations that will allow for connectivity between the station and the respective communities, and that will allow for community members, those persons who are part of these crime watch groups that are sanctioned, to come in and have regular discourse with the police station within their respective communities. Any successful policing department relies heavily on the support of the community. And we're not there yet. We have a ways to go, and this is one of those programs that will assist us in getting to exactly where we need to go.
And still to come, the countdown is on to Carnival. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
BTC is giving the gift of rollover data, plus free unlimited WhatsApp calls, texts, pictures, and videos. Choose from our 1-day plan for $349, 7-day plan for $999, or our 15-day plan for only $29.99. We've even thrown in unlimited BTC to BTC calls and texts. Dial *203# to activate your plan today. Share every moment with BTC. Terms and conditions apply.
Accepted. You're always sharing everything. You share the umbrella, the weekend, the blanket, and even your favorite towel. We know that you always share, but not KFC's genuine big box, made fresh for only you, with 2 pieces of chicken, 2 spicy wings, coleslaw, fries, biscuit, a cookie, and a soda, all for just $10 including VAT. Easy to enjoy, hard to share.
Are your monthly bills coming in on top of your holiday bills? It's time for a change. Bundle your bills into one low-rate loan with Commonwealth Bank. Move your high-rate loans and credit card balances from other banks to a low-rate consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank. Less stress, less to pay, each and every month. Plus, the chance to win $5,000. So make a change. Get a consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank and pay less.
Coca-Cola Bahamas has always been a strong community partner for us. They've supported and helped us to
reach hundreds of young men through Sprite basketball,
create a fun and interactive United FC,
go a little bit further for our animal friends,
feed thousands of Bahamians every year,
preserve our natural habitat,
and celebrate Bahamian culture and Junkanoo on Bay Street.
The Caribbean Bottling Team is committed to the communities that we serve around the entire Bahamas.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
Minister of Financial Services, Trade and Industry, the Honorable Brent Simonet, says the country's financial services sector is doing well overall, but admits the recent blacklisting from the European Union served as a distraction. This as officials traveled to Paris and San Marino to undergo international regulatory applications, such as the Common Reporting Standards and the Competent Authority Agreements. There, Simonet confirmed that the Bahamas complied with some of the OECD's gold posts. But that's not all.
We've been drafting legislation to keep up with that. Matter of fact, I think next week in Parliament we'll probably be introducing one of the new bills. We're also looking at rebranding the Bahamas so it can comply and keep up with modern changes. And then, as you know, we passed the recent act in Parliament, the Commercial Enterprises Bill, which is actually when Prime Minister and his delegation were in London and also Peru, they talked about that issue, and we've had, I think, about 15 approvals under that act since it came into effect on December the 12th. So that's also bringing in more work permits, more residency permits, and some extra headquartering and a call center and different types of business.
One local small-scale resort is making major moves in the tourism sector and credits the nearly 100 Bahamian employees for their warm hospitality and top-notch quality service to guests who either dine in or sleep in. I caught up with top executives of the small but plush resort in the downtown area to discuss business, upgrades, and also spoke to a few visitors who gave their experiences about the services the resort currently provides.
With an 80% occupancy level, the Courtyard Marriott, that's footsteps away from several makeshift stalls lining Junkanoo Beach, is making a quantum leap in business since it officially opened its doors to visitors and locals nearly 2 years ago. General Manager Clinton Davis says the drive in business has a lot to do with the 100% Bahamian staff complement, whose sole purpose is to fuel the country's economy by bringing to visitors that down-home experience.
I would say we have about 9,000 per month that comes in, and of course it's arranged from the Family Islands, as well as we have a lot of local business and international guests. So we do have a bistro restaurant that's open to the public. It's open from the morning as well, straight up to dinner, as well as we do have a banquet and catering area as well.
How often do you guys have banquets here?
Oh my, it's every week now. It allowed us to actually hire an additional person in our sales office to help with the workload. So it's great for us and great for the Bahamian.
Director of Finance Leon Lundy says a small-scale resort had to shell out millions of dollars for renovations that were carried out by Bahamians during the first phase of the resort in 2013.
To date, the full cost of the renovation was about $36 million, and that included the first phase, which was a 112-room hotel, and then we started the second wing, which was about 83 more rooms. We added on in total, it's a 201-room hotel now, And also taken into account in that 36 million was the ballroom, like Mr. Davis pointed to.
A few frequent visitors we spoke to were more than eager to share with us why they keep coming back to the Marriott and to our shores year-round.
The staff has been absolutely great. They've accommodated us in everything we've needed. The hotel has given us everything, so we've been very pleased with it.
It is better in the Bahamas. I enjoy coming here. The hospitality that we receive is always amazing, and the people are just wonderful. I love the culture, I love the people, I love the beaches.
Member of Parliament for St. Barnabas, Shannon Dawn Cartwright, gave residents a progress report of all that has been accomplished in that constituency since the Free National Movement won political office nearly 1 year ago during the constituency's final meeting before the anniversary of that win Monday night at the University of the Bahamas. Cartwright says during that period, he, along with his team, launched a number of community-centered initiatives from its derelict vehicle program, school breakfast program, minor roof repair program, and family fun nights.
We are excited about what we've done so far. We are committed to bringing the level of service that the people of St. Barnabas expect, and we're looking forward to the next 12 months and another 12 months. This is about looking back over the last 12 months to share with the many constituents that would supported us, and indeed the constituents throughout the constituency, all constituents, how we've been working for them, and the St. Barnabas We Care team have been working for them.
The countdown is on, with this year's festivities set to begin in about 2 days. So if you're not ready, you better get ready, because time is of the essence. But there's no need to feel overwhelmed by it all, because we've got you covered. In this week's edition of Who Do You Call, Sieska Adderley outlines your must-haves for a true carnival experience this weekend.
You can't have a full carnival experience unless you're on the road. Now, if you're not comfortable in a costume, I'd probably say join the t-shirt section, but you must get on the road.
Next, your body must be ready.
Getting your body in tip-top shape prior to carnival, because it's a long day. You're on the road, you're dancing, you're gyrating, you're doing everything under the sun, even on the side. But if you're not in tip-top shape, you could possibly pass out.
Also, stay hydrated.
A lot of people kind of partake in that adult beverage, so that all day in the sun is kind of not a good thing if you're not hydrating prior to and also throughout the day. So whether you're on the road or even just on the side, like enjoying carnival, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I cannot express that enough.
But listen up, because this next step, Jade believes, is the most important one of them all.
Carnival is not carnival unless you enjoy all of the parties and all of the concerts, either leading up to carnival or during the carnival weekend. That is the ultimate carnival experience. So I'd say get your tickets.
Sieska Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Stay close. Sports is up next. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Yeah, child, I can ride this right on this rim. Y'all guess what? What? I ain't got no spare. Let me just get a jump from the hacker. Nah, this flat. Guess what, bruh? If you back around the corner of Wolf Road, there's a tire too. I go in there right now. Don't look at nosy, Shirley. Get a shut up in my head in the back there. Stop making nerds. Hey, sweet boy, give me one of them tire. And while you at it, check this back.
Epic Wolf Road now has tires too. Why not replace your tires on the weekend? Wolf Road is open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit us today.
To the greatest mother in the world, thank you. Happy Mother's Day from the both of us.
This is for me.
Oh my gosh!
So this is what we doing now? Okay, bro, watch this. For me, I have a surprise for you. Come with me.
You got to be kidding me.
Don't let your sibling one-up you this Mother's Day. Come on down to Connaught Bahamas and catch their Mother's Day sale today.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Kelsey Johnson. Here's your first look at sports. It was no surprise when skipper Stefan Knowles sailed away with the overall title in the A class at the 65th Annual National Family Island Regatta, sitting at the helm in the running tide. It was his brilliance in the C class that proved that he is one of the better skippers in the country.
I was very eager, and some of the guys, they really gave me a lot of adrenaline and a lot of motivation. You know, they told me they were going to beat me. I told them, ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it, not tomorrow. I actually sat out the B class race today. The C class race this morning was very strenuous. The wind came down at the last minute, and we had way too much sail. First time racing in my life. I went in the wind 4 times. In a race. When in the wind is meaning you go into irons. You cannot tack from port on to starboard or starboard on to port. 4 times today I went in the wind and I still won the race.
In his remarks during the closing ceremony of the 65th National Family Island Regatta, Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, who has responsibility for the sport, Renwood Wells, noted the benefits of regattas on the Family Islands.
The economic impact of the National Family Island Regatta in Exuma on Exuma's economy is undeniable and unquestionable. Your hotels, guest houses, and private rental homes are booked completely this weekend. Rental car companies are fully subscribed. Restaurants are enjoying the business that comes with the heavy domestic tourists and regatta enthusiast arrivals and all of the auxiliary businesses that have benefited tremendously from all of your presence here.
Her moves in the paint while playing the number 3 position for Eastern Wyoming College women's basketball team has landed her on top of the charts. Pamela Bethel was named to the NJCAA Division I All-American team, the All-Region South team, and All-Tournament team. She ranks number 1 in the NJCAA as the top rebounder in the nation, averaging 14.6 boards per game for a total of 467 rebounds this season. Bethel averages about 16 points per game and shoots 71% from the free throw line. Rashard Davis is headed to the University of Texas at Arlington. The former CC Sweden Cobra who led the squad to 2 Hugh Campbell titles signed with the Mavericks on Monday. He received a full 4-year scholarship.
First of all, I'd like to thank my Lord and personal Savior Jesus Christ for giving me this opportunity to live out my dreams. Also, I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting my story. I'd like to thank Mario Boleg, Darrell Says, my friends, family for sticking with me throughout this journey. It just proves that hard work really pays off, you know. All of you guys who know me, you know that I love the game. You know, I give it my all, blood, sweat, and tears. And for me to receive this blessing is just awesome. It just shows how much hard work really pays off. As soon as I step on campus, I just hope to make the biggest impact I can, you know, by doing whatever needs to be done to benefit the team, the program. Also like to just get a jump start on my studies, so thankful I'm able to do summer school. So in the fall and the spring, I won't have to work as hard.
Let's play ball. That call will be made at 7 p.m. tonight, right before the first pitch in the New Providence Softball Association is thrown. The league's 2018 season will officially get started with 2 games. Up first are BTC and Platinum Pool Lady Sharks in the women's division, and the Chances Mighty Mitts and Commando Security Truckers in the men. That's your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. There's more to come.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command.
Introducing Flow Evil.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are,
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
there's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
You thought it was the talk of the town, but get ready for more.
More energy, more excitement, exhilarating, compelling, informative, educational talk on The Conversation.
I'm Shanique Miller. Pull up a chair with a cup of tea and join me weekdays at 4 on Radio Bahamas, 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and The Light, 810 AM for The Conversation. I'm excited to have you around the table.
Since Pinling, we had one leader in this country, and that's Hubert Ingram. A lot of people who run the PLP, they don't know nothing about it. I hear them get up in the house talking nonsense, and I say, my God, the fellow who says leader don't know what's gone down.
Everybody, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartender, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, I'm on television. I don't have a TV in there.
We have Wi-Fi though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up before it's over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay. What amazing idea to go into the communities and into our world and into our country and into the homes of people and into the lives of outstanding and extraordinary people all over the country. I think that telling those stories, again, helps us to connect to the notion of okay, how can I live a better life? How can I be better? This is how this person achieved it. Where can I find common ground so that my life can match up as well? And so Ordinary People is an amazing, amazing concept, and I'm excited to be a part of the Ordinary People family.
Agriculture Now returns to the ZNS Network Thursday, May 3rd. Learn about the country's capacity to feed itself through farming and fishing, and the importance of these industries to the economy. And find out how you can grow some of your own food right in your backyard. Tune into Agriculture Now beginning Thursday, May 3rd at 8:30 p.m. right here on the ZNS Network.
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels, free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a Rabbit Ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you.
Caribbean news this Tuesday, nearly 350 potential victims of sexual exploitation and forced labor have been rescued in an Interpol-coordinated operation targeting human trafficking in the Caribbean, Central and South America. More than 500 police officers in 13 countries also arrested 22 individuals during the operation to combat human trafficking in the Caribbean. United States low-cost carrier JetBlue, which has indicated its interest in expanding into the Guyana market, is closer to making a decision. According to local media reports, the Guyana Ministry of Foreign Affairs, without naming the airline, has also indicated that talks are still ongoing and that JetBlue will soon send a delegation to Guyana on a fact-finding mission. The Regional Debt Coordinating Committee has advanced its efforts to increase transparency and improve relationships among the stakeholders of the regional government securities market. The RDCC comprises of the financial secretaries of the 8 Eastern Caribbean Currency Union countries and the governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, this starlight front boundary across the central Bahamas continues to trigger a couple showers and thunderstorms and could even trigger 1 or 2 later on tonight in parts of the northwest Bahamas. Outside of our studios, we are under partly sunny skies, temperature 82 degrees. Your winds are out of the north-northeast at 17 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 1,021.4 millibars. That is 30.13 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned. More weather is still to come.
Thanks, Basil, and that's a look at news in the Bahamas tonight. First at 6, but don't you move. News from the northern Bahamas is up next.
At the Freeport Container Port could result in additional employment. A man charged with housebreaking given a slap on the wrist. And a new policy creating tension as graduation approaches.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, Freeport's transshipment terminal could be moving into full restoration soon. The container port has just received 3 new Super Post-Panamax ships to store cranes from China, bringing FCP's fleet size to 10 quake cranes. Here's more in this report. Officials at the Freeport Container Port are pleased that after 2 years since the devastating effects of Hurricane Matthew comes the arrival of the new quake cranes. The good news is this means that the container port will be back to full operations. Standing at 410 feet, these ZPMC cranes represent an upgrade from the current fleet, in which they are capable of remote control operation. The cranes will be 3 of only 5 in the region. The remaining 2 are slated for FCP's sister port in Mexico. Prior to the arrival of the cranes, FCP 11 engineers and 4 operators went to Oman and Shanghai for training in 2017 so that they would be ready to operate the new semi-automated cranes. FCP Port Director Lucian Lang says operating a full fleet size at the quay means that they will improve overall customer service with better reliability and performance. These are not the conventional quay cranes, he says, where the operator sits and operates in a cab. FCP Engineering Manager Charles Stewart says that the company's capacity will go back up to 100%. He says, with that, we can better by far accommodate the business of our customers and be able to put Bahamians back to work, and they will be able to work more consistently. The new cranes will be ready for operation in July after a period of commissioning. In news from the courts, the 8-month-long Barry and Sheena Johnson murder trial is coming to a close in the Supreme Court. 3 men are on trial for the death of the couple back in September 2015. The prosecution giving their closing statements to the jury today. Italia Hall has the details.
On Friday afternoon, the jury witnessed an exchange between Attorney Farquharson and the court. Attorney Farquharson was found in contempt of the court as a result of that exchange. On Tuesday morning, Justice Estelle Gray Evans addressed the jurors, telling them that is something that the court tries to avoid in their presence. She told the jurors that they must only make a decision based on the facts that were presented in the court, and they are not to make a judgment based on the conduct or the behavior that took place. Following Justice Evans' short address, Attorney Farquharson stood up and accused a few of the jurors, including the foreman, of making remarks while the judge was speaking on Friday. He said the court claims that they did not see it. Farquharson then called for the jury to be discharged. He says he believes there cannot be a fair trial with the current jury. Attorney Farquharson then requested a 15-minute break. Upon returning to court, Attorney Farquharson mentioned that the interruption on Friday was due to the insistence of Prosecutor Brathwaite, as he was referring to inadmissible evidence. Following that, Prosecutor Neil Brathwaite continued with his closing statement. Prosecutor Brathwaite gave the jury a summary of what the prosecution beliefs are as to how each defendant played some role in the crime which resulted in the death of Barry and Sheena Johnson. During his presentation, he was interrupted several times by attorneys Sherlin and Farquharson, who had some concerns. Attorney Farquharson then accused Prosecutor Brathwaite of trying to deceive the jury. Prosecutor Brathwaite was told to continue with his closing by Justice Estelle Gray Evans. He told the jury that the case was not a drug investigation. It was about who killed Barry and Sheena Johnson, and his job as a prosecutor is to seek justice. He also reminded the jury that it has often been said during the trial that nobody was supposed to get hurt. But according to their surveillance video, Barry Johnson was thrown to the ground, and it was clear that there was an intention to use violence. Prosecutor Brathwaite told the 12 jurors, consisting of 4 males and 8 females, to be true to the oath that they have taken. Now, Prosecutor Neil Brathwaite is completed with his closing statement. Now that he is completed, Justice Estelle Gray Evans is expected to present her summation of the entire case to the jury on Friday morning at 11. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Natalia Hall.
19-year-old Franco Carey getting an unconditional discharge today after pleading guilty to housebreaking and stealing. Carey of Ladyfish Street, Cavell Beach, was arraigned before Magistrate Charlton Smith in Magistrate Court Number 2 on 5 counts of housebreaking and stealing. All items stolen were recovered by police. He was ordered to pay a fine of $250 and was granted an unconditional discharge for all counts. The charge is in connection to a number of housebreaking and stealing matters reported to police between March 13th and April 24th of this year. Another group of Cuban migrants found at sea, the U.S. Coast Guard vessel Robert Yaird handing over 15 Cuban males to immigration officials over the weekend. Reports say the Cubans claimed that they left home on Wednesday, destined for Florida, and were interdicted in the area of the Key Sal Bank. The migrants were processed and flown to the detention center in New Providence. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues in just a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
It's time to go green again!
With tropical palms from Dolly Madison, Grand Bahama. You asked for it, and Dolly Madison's got it. Flowering trees, tropical palm trees, landscaping trees, indoor and outdoor plants, fruit trees, vegetable plants, and seeds galore.
It's time to go green again!
Yes, it's time to restore your yard and outdoor sanctuary. Make your home and garden green again. But hurry while supplies last.
Come on down now.
We've raised the stakes. We've raised the bar. We've raised the standard. Your new entertainment playground. Winners take chances. Chances makes winners. Chances remind you to game responsibly.
I am Police Constable 3506 Arnold Nesbitt Jr. of the Traffic Division, Grand Bahama. With students returning back to school for the new physical school year, we are urging motorists to please take the necessary precaution while traveling throughout residential areas and school zones. Motorists are reminded that between the hours of 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., the posted speed is 15 miles per hour throughout the school zones.
Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. And now to our Generation Y report. Tonight we will hear from a young woman who was able to overcome tremendous adversity. In this report, she shares her story and what she is doing to ensure that no other student have to share the same experience. Italia Hall reports.
I was once bullied physically and verbally from having bad teeth.
Jada Strawn was once a victim of bullying, and it was a difficult situation for her to handle while trying to focus in school.
It put me down, it made my self-esteem decrease, and it made me feel like I couldn't cope with the other students.
Well, Jada took her pain and transformed it into something positive by creating an anti-bullying club for teens. The purpose of the club is to eradicate bullying within schools across the country. She says there are over 30 members and they take part in a number of activities.
We talk about our experiences as well, and we teach them how to fight bully situations, not really physically, but how to do it also mentally.
Jada says the organization recently conducted a survey and found out that 70% of students admitted that they are bullied. She's encouraging all of the bulliers to stop because she says you can never be sure what circumstances someone may be facing. And as for the victims, she says you must stand up for yourself at all times.
Speak up because people don't really know what's going on, but once you speak up, they will know. And I also encourage them to be themselves, and no matter what people say to them, continue and put all that behind them.
Jada also recently received an International Children's Peace Prize Award.
Having the Ministry of Education come to me personally and selecting me, it made me feel excited.
In other news, there is a call for more men to enter the education profession. And for one male already in the classroom, the profession is paying off. Tonight, Megan Shepard highlights this educator who is making a positive difference in the Southern District.
Valentino Munnings is the new Teacher of the Year for Lewis Yard Primary School. Principal Juanita Hanna says that Munnings is a dynamic professional that is committed to making a difference in the lives of the students.
He was selected among his peers, and he also had to have the criteria of being a teacher of over 10 years and all the qualifications necessary as a bachelor's degree. And so, he has a degree in computer studies actually, and so he also doubles as our computer teacher as well. And so we're excited for him, and he has proven to done an exemplary job in this field as well. And so we're so proud of Mr. Munnings, and we just want to salute him and say, congratulations to him, a job well done.
Munnings has been an educator for some 12 years. He says his inspiration comes from watching the growth and progress of the students thanks to his lessons.
It's an inspiration for me when I see kids who couldn't do something before can do it after I'm finished with a session with them, and it keeps me going because when I see the look in their eyes and the success they can have, someone did it for me, so it's only fair that I return the favor.
Now the cry has been heard around the country for more male teachers. Munnings says he takes his career as an educator very seriously.
I see myself as a role model for the boys especially, but I try to teach versatility with the girls as well. But the boys, I've seen a positive change in them. From I came here, their attitudes have been much better because I leave them alone by themselves. They'll go and practice. They'll come and ask me to help them with anything, and I try to make myself available for that.
Munnings has helped to implement various after-school programs at the school, which he says falls in line with the school's mandate to create well-rounded students.
The kids really outperform themselves, so we try to improve on that and build on their confidence to know that they can perform any task we give them. So it's been a joy to having to do that and show them how to become champions and be successful.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
A mother is making an impassioned appeal tonight to the Ministry of Education. She says her son, who is an honors student, is not being allowed to walk on graduation day due to a new policy from the Ministry of Education.
This is last, and from a 2.0 to a 3.5, come on, what more? What more? How, what more could you ask a child to do?
Mother Patricia Russell says she is heartbroken that her son, 16-year-old Ray J, went from a 2.0 GPA to a 3.50 cumulative average. Yet he is not being allowed to walk on graduation day because he did not pass his math BJC. She has spoken with the principal at the high school, who wrote a letter to the Ministry of Education on behalf of Ray J and 5 other students who are in the same situation, but they have not yet received a positive response.
He took the pictures, the graduation class pictures. He was able to do the field trip. He was able to measure for his robe and everything, but it's just that he wasn't able to pay the graduation fee, like she said, which was good. She didn't want to collect the funds from the parents, knowing how some parents will say, well, oh, you fight and say, well, oh, you collect from me, and knowing my child wasn't able to walk or what have you.
She says Ray J has made history in Central Andrews High as the first male to win a speech competition. He has represented the school in various capacities and just recently received the Government Achievement Award. Father Ray Russell believes that this is unfair. He, along with his wife, adds that their son took the math BJC 3 times and failed, but it's not because he hasn't tried. Sadly enough, they say he has even contemplated dropping out of school.
Well, that's heart-wrenching, because to know that he already reached this far and not to, graduate with the other children, that's not a very good feeling.
Because he was to the point where when he got the news that he wasn't going to walk, he didn't want to do grade 12. And I had to encourage him, no, don't give up. He wanted to know, well, what is the privilege, what is the purpose of me finishing grade 12 if I'm not able to walk? So I had to tell him, my dear, give it your best shot.
As a family, they say that they have done all that they could possibly have done, including having Ray J tutored in math, but he just doesn't seem to get the subject.
I wanted him to be evaluated to see if there's a problem, because every time there's an exam, he would shut down, especially math. He would shut down. He knew, mind you, that his grades throughout the term is excellent, sometimes 95%, 80%.
Russell notes that even if the Ministry of Education allows honors students like Ray J to walk at graduation, but withhold the diploma until they pass the BJC, that would be acceptable, as she argued that graduation day is something that all children look forward to. But she says if Ray J is denied attending his graduation ceremony, it also means that he will not have an opportunity to openly receive all the awards he worked hard for.
Revisit the system and see what we could do, not only for him, for all the children that are going through it now and the ones after, because, our children, the Bahamians, have a history of, they're afraid of math. And I listen to the news all the time, math, BJC, they barely scrape a C point and above. The majority of students, the greater percentage of our Bahamian students is a D and under, And of course, you're not saying that that's acceptable. I'm not saying it's acceptable, no. I feel it's, we can do much better, but not all children are that fortunate or, inclined to, do good in math.
Now, while Ray J met all of the Ministry of Education's criterion for graduation, with the exception of passing the math BJC, ministry officials say that graduating students must have at least 4 BJCs, including math, English, science, and social science. And now it is time to Ask the Doctor.
Ask the Doctor. Welcome. MB from New Providence asked, I am extremely overweight, and in recent years, it has begun to really affect me. I've tried everything, and I can't get this weight off. How can I make a real change in 2017? MB, thank you for your honesty. Many people take the opportunity at the beginning of a new year to focus on becoming healthier. Obesity is a complex condition characterized by excessive body fat. The only way to successfully overcome obesity and achieve and maintain a healthy body weight is to make real changes in how we live our lives. While there may be many contributing factors, like family history, hormone imbalance, or rare medical conditions, most people gain weight as a result of some combination of unhealthy eating habits and a lack of sufficient physical activity. Making small changes and being consistent over time can make a big difference. Changes like visiting a doctor or a community clinic for an annual full physical exam, taking a half-an-hour walk at least 5 days a week, drinking more water throughout the day, and avoiding fast foods and sugary drinks like sodas can help you reduce your body weight over time. If you have other questions about weight loss and living healthy, please email askdrbahamas@gmail.com. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Stay with us. Ricardo Liborn has a check on sports when we come back.
More on Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979. KMW Battery and Tire is on the move. The leading battery and tire company has moved to its new, more spacious location, number 1 West Settlers Way, and it's more than just batteries and tires, but features expanded goods and services from truck tires, oil, air and gas filters, hydraulic tools, air hoses, car mats, and marine and ATV batteries. Experience speedy oil changes and KMW mobile tire repair services. Management and staff at KMW Battery say a big thank you, Grand Bomber, for your support. The leading battery and tire company, number 1 West Settlers Way, KMW Battery and Tires.
Everybody, and welcome to Sports. I'm Ricardo Liborn. Tonight, this one goes out to my godchild, Jason Cooper, who's celebrating today. And yes, Rivas and Laurel Bartlett, they're celebrating anniversary. We want them to behave tonight, okay? Well, Bahamian Sons preparing for the Backyard Rumble May 26. Sherman Tank Williams will be the main event. The Backyard Rumble is being billed for May 26 at the Social Affair Convention Center. The main event will feature Sherman Tank Williams, who is home for a few days, just trying to tie up some loose ends, and he says it's going to be a super event.
Well, I've been for the last month in Copenhagen and Denmark. I've been training hard with two of my fighters, Detlef and Per Rossing. I am preparing ahead of time for May 26, drama in Grand Bahama. Bahamian Sons present Rumble in the Backyard. It's a heavyweight explosive bout that I'll be headlining, along with 3 up-and-coming Bahamian heavyweights and 2 other international heavyweights out of Florida.
Tank says the Bahamian Sons Night of Boxing is just what the fight doctor ordered for Grand Bahama to get it back on track.
I see so much going on internationally in Europe and England, and boxing is catching the fire all over Europe. And I just want to use this last 100-yard dash I got and bring it to Grand Bahama, you know. I mean, Grand Bahama financially, economically has been in the dumps for a while, and I think we could highlight this beautiful place that we love here in Freeport as a sports destination. I mean, 57 miles or less from the coast of Florida, we can host boxing, we can host rugby. There's so many things that I know we can do.
Mark it on your calendar, folks. May 26th, it's called the Backyard Rumble. And the Grand Bahama Flag Football League is a must take in on a Sunday. The ladies were in the trenches. The Grand Central Kickers and the in-style Divas in the trenches in week 3 at the Plex. The Divas ball. Watch the quarterback option. Nice flip here to the running back and some positive yards. The Kickers on offense with the pigskin and watch the flare pass to the halfback. That equates to a first down. The Divas call a quick timeout. They need to regroup. The Kickers going over the game plan and they've got the momentum. Kickers with the ball. Watch the play action and the quarterback with good presence of the field. And the first halfback looking to make some things happen. That is a touchdown. Here's the conversion. A well-designed play and a reception. It's a 7-0 game in favor of the Grand Central Kickers. In-style went back to basic ball and the ground game was working, but turnovers on downs. The Kickers with the ball now. And the play, they go to the air attack. The Divas read it. They went for the ball. The result, an interception, and this one's going the next way. The Divas try to stay in the game and utilize the tight end option, and that's positive yards. Second down and Divas ball. This time the quarterback went for broke and simply went. This one is tipped off, and yes, the Kickers will take it, and they've got the advantage. Kickers then kept their foot on the gas and watched the quarterback pick the Divas defense apart. That's a first down. The referees going over the ground rules. The Kickers with the smart play, calling for it, and went for the bomb. The Grand Central Kickers with a 13-0 win, and they moved to 2-1 on the season. The Divas fall to 1-2. The Lady Piranhas closed out, with Sawyers losing this one 6-0. And the 18th Annual Atlantic Medical Fund Run Walkout was a wonderful event, and Grand Bahama, you did it again. The Bahamas Diabetic Association and the Cancer Society of the Bahamas was a good reason to get up very early on a Saturday morning. The 18th Annual Atlantic Medical Fund Walk and Run was well supported. The runners going west, and they will go to the Pizza Hut Junction and back. The walkers heading east. Here's the start, and a very good one. Participants jockeying early for position, and yes, there is trash talking for some. This is a walk, and someone needs to inform the walkers that there's a fair game and a worthy cause. Smile, you guys. You're going to be on evening sports. The divisions, 15 and under, 15 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 65, and then there's 65 and over. That means that Florence DeVoe, Anna Mae Johnson, Janice Coakley, they're the women's winners. As far as your men, Harold Rowe, Kenny Baisden, and Leo Sawyer. They're the top 3. Oh, I did walk with my wife, and yes, she beat me, which meant I had to buy breakfast. Well, Grand Bahama is being billed as the sports destination of the country, and the Bahamas Junkanoo Dragon Boat Festival held on the island of the Grand Bahama Yacht Club is a statement event. Royal Bahamas Police Force on duty and ensuring water safety. The occasion, the Bahamas Junkanoo Dragon Boat Festival. It's a team event, paddles in hand. You just got to stay in a straight line. That's right, Pelican Bay. Okay, Invictus, you're milling now for position and ready to rumble. Lucana National in the Premier Finals and ready for the challenge. Lucana National, Invictus, Grand Bahama Yacht Club, and Pelican Bay all at the starting line. It's a clean start. Very quickly, Invictus takes the lead and control of the race. Pelican Bay working very hard to gain some ground here on the fleet. Lucana National have the paddles down and need to pick up some ground. Slow and steady she goes, but buddy, you guys are losing the other boats. Dragon boat racing is a new sport to Grand Bahama, and also being called pioneers. It's a good race. Invictus first, Grand Bahama Yacht Club second, Lucana National third, and then Pelican Bay. The fan support of the Bahamas Junkanoo Dragon Boat Festival was positive, and on the dock showing their support. The onshore gully still there. That's Mr. Porter. He's the visitor's favorite. Conch salad, anyone? Traditional and tropical. Something to eat for everyone at this festival. Looking for that super jerk? Well, you've got a treat. Team Invictus celebrating a great day of competition. Team Pelican Bay much to celebrate, and they did not sink. The Grand Bahama Yacht Club showed they too can also practice, and it paid off. The Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture on hand for the awards. Haven Brewery won the Premier B division, and smile, guys. The Ministry of Tourism had to settle for third place. Boundless was second. Pelican Bay, you are fourth in the Premier Division. Lucana National was third. The champion Invictus had a blast in the inaugural event. The host of Grand Bahama Yacht Club's second place finish, the Honorable Michael Pintard, had some high marks for the event and some promises.
I'll commit right now, the pastors will have a boat next year. The politicians will have a boat next year. Rotary, I'm advised, will recruit some younger persons who have the capacity to have a boat next year.
And I actually commit that ZNS ain't gonna be there next year. That's a look at sports.
We've raised the state. We've raised the bar. We've raised the standard. Your new entertainment playground. Winners take chances. Chances makes winners. Chances remind you to game responsibly.
And we have to say happy anniversary to Revis and Laurel Bartlett.
I have put the paramedics on notice.
Why?
Can't talk down there.
And this one is for my sister Sonia Roll, who is in hospital. She had a successful surgery. All the best, and I'll see you soon.
Your friends come and bother me today. Them
Who?
Omega Psi Phi fellas.
My bros.
Their head ain't good, you know.
They all right with me.
I ain't gonna say a word. Leave that right where it is, okay?
That's gonna do it for us here in the North on behalf of our entire ZNS News team.
Revis and Laurel, you watching y'all.
The Bahamas Tonight continues.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the Prime Minister launches the government's new Neighborhood Watch Council. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Here are all the details straight ahead.
A report to be released on shanty towns as a census is now complete. Nurses return to their stations, but is all well? The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Hundreds of nurses who called in sick yesterday returned to work today. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping news tonight, public health care services were back to normal today as nurses returned to work after a sick out on Monday, which negatively impacted services. Vern Carey tells us that health officials are now looking at ways to address the chronic issues plaguing some 1,500 nurses in the public health care system.
After staging a mass sick-out across the country Monday, nurses in the public health care system have returned to work. This according to Health Minister, the Honorable Dr. Dwayne Sands. The sick-out significantly impacted the delivery of public health care services, prompting the closure of government clinics and the cancellation of a number of surgeries at the Princess Margaret Hospital. Meanwhile, Dr. Sands said the issue of unions using sick-outs as a bargaining tool will have to be addressed moving forward.
We would have had a total of 5 people call in thus far, but that is probably not anything other than the usual. So it appears as if the nurses are no longer ill. Numbers of people can get sick, but it would be very peculiar for 200 people to get sick in the absence of some public health issue. And so when we look at these tools, as we evolve as a country, the question will have to be asked whether that loophole ought to be closed.
The health minister said the government is moving aggressively to address the chronic issues plaguing nurses in the healthcare system.
We would have seen to it that some $55,000 of outstanding mileage accrual for a group of nurses was placed on the pay sheet, and the expectation was that they should have had that money in their accounts last payday. If it was not on the pay sheet in April, I am advised that it will definitely be on the pay sheet in May.
Dr. Sands also noted that the confirmation of nurses and the proposed shift system are being addressed.
In terms of the confirmation of nurses, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, we have moved aggressively to deal with these issues that have been outstanding for a decade. The matter of the 4-on, 4-off, the Public Hospital Authority had not implemented the change in shift system. And so to disadvantage the public on the basis of a conversation, to me is unfortunate.
Now, we reached out to President of the Nurses Union, Amancha Williams, for comment, but our calls were not returned up to news time. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Education Minister, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, says a disciplinary exercise is now underway at the Ministry of Education for some 200 contract workers who violated their employment agreements by not showing up for work, some of them for as long as 100 days. Mr. Lloyd said the process is being carried out with equity and transparency. Regarding how many workers have been terminated so far, he responded this way.
Couple of dozens, yes, but that process continues, and it's across the system. There have been some terminations, and there will be more, and there will be further disciplining of those who we think warranted. Listen, it is the intention of our ministry to engage as many persons who are suitably qualified and are interested and are capable and who wish to be a part of this revolution in education that is now presently underway, right? But there are obligations that they have to fulfill. First of all, they've got to come to work. And when they do come to work, they must come to work on time and they must do their jobs. I think that is only fair.
Minister Lloyd explained how the disciplinary measures will be carried out.
It could entail letters of warning, obviously, certain suspensions. It could also require that they submit to certain behavioral corrections. And we also, may require that some of these persons who we see have the talent and ability, and for other reasons, may deserve another chance by way of some more training.
Labor officials planning a series of town hall meetings with shantytown residents as efforts continue to get a handle on unregulated shantytowns nationwide. Labor Minister Senator the Honorable Dion Fowkes says the meetings will come following the release of a shantytown report sometime next week. He said the details of that report will be made public. Meantime, Mr. Fowkes said the first town hall meeting will be held in the Carmichael Road area in order to let shantytown residents know what the government plans to do next.
We intend to have 2 town hall meetings, one in the shantytowns themselves and another one for the subdivisions around the shantytowns. So we can tell everybody exactly what our timetable is, what the notice period is in terms of for the residents to move. And we're also having a meeting with all of the leaseholders of the land of the shantytowns, and they're all Bahamians. So we intend over the next week or so to have a meeting with them to advise them of the notice period, to have them take certain legal action.
Now, the Labor Minister said eviction notices haven't been issued yet to shantytown residents. Meanwhile, he said workers didn't encounter any challenges conducting that survey.
It went extremely well. We were quite surprised. But I'd like to thank all the churches, especially the Catholic Church and the Seventh-day Adventist Church, the Haitian Bahamian League of Pastors, who fully cooperated with us, Rights Bahamas, Mr. Luby George, who also endorsed the program, and the United Bahamian Haitian Association. They all went into the shantytowns and advised the residents to cooperate with us. So it went extremely well, and I think that's why it happened so quickly.
The Royal Bahamas Police Force credits its relationship with the public when it comes to fighting crime. The Ministry of National Security has taken that partnership up a notch by establishing the National Neighborhood Watch Council. Altavi's Munnings reports that the newly elected council members received some strong advice from the Prime Minister.
So the car went in the east, so they can tell the people in the west, be careful for this red car. This thing works.
The goal of the National Neighborhood Watch Council is to truly bridge the gap between the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the community in crime prevention. Representatives from Crime Watch Councils across New Providence received pins at the program's launch Monday night to signify their certification. Police liaison officers will also be assigned to each police station in various communities to assist the council with any information. It's an initiative Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Hubert Minnis touted as a part of his government's agenda in fighting crime nationwide.
With proper organization and support from the public, the Council has the potential to become a powerful crime-fighting tool, providing law enforcement officers with information and intelligence that may help to prevent and detect crime.
Prime Minister Minnis credits the recent decrease in overall criminal activity to the carefully thought out and deliberate changes our law enforcement officials have conducted. He noted, though, that much more work in the effort to fight crime is crucial.
We must be relentless in our efforts. We have to see what the trend is long term. While our law enforcement officers tackle crime on the front lines, the National Neighborhood Watch Council provides a critical avenue by which members of the public may help to address crime and violence in our Bahamas.
The work of the National Neighborhood Watch Council has already begun, but the Prime Minister offered these words of advice.
As you conduct your community patrols, we do not expect you to engage suspects. Your primary mission is to observe and report suspicious activities to the police in a timely fashion. Your safety and security is of vital importance.
Officials at the Ministry of National Security, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and all members of the Neighborhood Watch Councils across the country encourage you, the public, to remember to supply them with any information on any criminal activity by calling your nearest police station. Reporting from police headquarters on East Street, I'm Altavi's Munnings, ZNS Network News.
National Security Minister, the Honorable Marvin Dames, is confident that this new government crime prevention program will be a success. Although he acknowledged that prolific offenders out on bail and returning into communities is a challenge, Minister Dames says while that's an issue, the criminal justice system is also an area of challenge.
So that, when these persons are arrested, they're put before the courts, the matters come up in a timely manner. So bail becomes a moot point. But there are some things, too, that we're doing at the Her Majesty's Correction Service, which is we're working to transition that service from a penal institution to a correctional institution. And so there is a lot of work being done in the background that will help us achieve that. And so very shortly you'll be hearing about some very innovative programs that will begin to issue in the whole corrective side of it from our Citizens Justice initiatives.
The National Security Minister added that information from these councils will be utilized by police in a timely manner.
And we're not asking the citizen to be a police. That's not what we're asking. We're just asking them to be the ears and eyes for their community, okay? The police has a responsibility, and there's a distinct difference between the police responsibility and the citizen's responsibility. So we're very clear on that, and that is why there's a training component to this.
Last October, Minister of National Security, the Honorable Marvin Dames, revealed preliminary findings of the Royal Bahamas Police Force manpower audit in Parliament. He said then that the goal is to determine the human resource needs and adequately provide policing services nationwide. Minister Dames noted that even though the Bahamas falls well above the global officer-to-citizen ratio, police stations across the capital are understaffed, which negatively impacts the delivery of critical police services at the divisional level. Minister Dames gave this update last evening.
So we're now in that process now of introducing those medium and long-term measures. So you see the Neighborhood Watch Council. We would have completed now our manpower audit, which is the next step, and hopefully within the next week or two, we should be releasing the result of that manpower audit, which is about 235 pages of evidence-based work.
of Education says the turnaround in education must start at the preschool level. And local real estate is looking bright. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
The news is brought to you by the new Shell and Letty, designed for extra miles.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank, everything we do it for you.
Accepted. You're always sharing everything. You share the umbrella, the weekend, the blanket, and even your favorite towel. We know that you always share, but not KFC's genuine big box, made fresh for only you, with 2 pieces of chicken, 2 spicy wings, coleslaw, fries, biscuit, a cookie, and a soda, all for just $10 including VAT. Easy to enjoy, hard to share.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day, your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why, every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
How will you stuff your stockings this Christmas? With gifts that last for a week or a month, or investments for a brighter future? Like a BOB B-Doll investment certificate for mom and dad, BOB Junior Savings accounts for the children, or debt consolidation and hurricane relief options to get your house in order for the Christmas and beyond. This Christmas, give the gifts that keep on giving. High interest bearing deposit accounts and credit solutions from BOB, your bank of solutions. What's in your stockings?
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
There was a report on social media today around a border to information.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant.
That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
Coca-Cola Bahamas has always been a strong community partner for us. They've supported and helped us to
reach hundreds of young men through Sprite basketball,
create a fun and interactive United FC,
go a little bit further for our animal friends,
feed thousands of Bahamians every year,
preserve our natural habitat,
and celebrate Bahamian culture and Junkanoo on pastry.
The Caribbean Bottling Team is committed to the communities that we serve around the entire Bahamas.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
Where can you find amazing selections of tiles from around the world? Exquisite medallions, pool mosaics, all colorful, bright and bold. They got granite countertop for the kitchen, elegant vanity zincs for the bathroom, tile care and ruby too. Everything you need and more at the Tile King. The Tile King, located 69 Wolf Road. For more information, call 326-TILE or 326-5464.
Home Care Electrical Lighting, Plumbing, and Hardware Supply Store in the Eastern District, Joe Farrington and Fox Hill Roads, has the most affordable quality products on the island. The lowest prices in bathroom lighting fixtures, bathroom sets, lamps, electrical wiring items, plumbing fixtures, everything you need if you're building or remodeling that home, apartment, or office building. And just next door is Andros Beauty Supplies for all your skin and beauty supply needs at the lowest prices around. Family Island orders are welcome. Give them a call today, 324-7953 or 364-9088.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Welcome back. There was a report circulating on social media that drugs were found aboard a Bahamas airplane in Florida. According to information received, the flight arrived in Orlando from the Bahamas and drugs found on board. We spoke with a Bahamas Air official in Florida this evening who disputed the rumor and says there was a routine spot check and a dog alerted officials to a passenger, but no drugs were found. Again, no drugs found aboard a Bahamas Air flight into Orlando today. In other news, Minister of Financial Services, Trade and Industry, the Honorable Brent Simonet, says the country's financial services sector is doing well overall, but says the recent blacklisting from the European Union served as a distraction. This as officials travel to Paris and San Marino to undergo international regulatory applications, such as the Common Reporting Standards and the Competent Authority Agreements. There, Mr. Simonet confirmed that the Bahamas complied with some of the OECD's goalposts, but that's not all.
We've been drafting legislation to keep up with that. Matter of fact, I think next week in Parliament we'll probably be introducing one of the new bills. We're also looking at rebranding the Bahamas so it can comply and keep up with modern changes. And then, as you know, we passed the recent act in Parliament, the Commercial Enterprises Bill, which is actually when Prime Minister and his delegation were in London and also Peru, they talked about that issue, and we've had, I think, about 15 approvals under that act since it came into effect on December the 12th. So that's also bringing in more work permits, more residency permits, and some extra headquartering and a call center and different types of business.
The Financial Services Minister said the work is ongoing to ensure that the Bahamas is a top financial services jurisdiction. The plan is to market the country in traditional markets like South America and to attract new investment.
We hope this year to do a number of promotional trips, which hopefully the Prime Minister will be in attendance with, so we can go back into some markets and heighten the awareness. I'm slated in the next several months to be in between Mexico, Vancouver, Miami as a way of looking at the South American hub, and a couple of other trips, so that we look at promoting financial services.
The local real estate market is reportedly doing quite well, despite it being challenged by foreign realtors coming to the Bahamas as visitors to illegally sell Bahamian property. That according to President of the Bahamas Real Estate Association, Christine Wallace-Whitfield.
Last year, it picked up a lot. The beginning of this year has been okay, it's kind of tapered off a little bit. So I think that with changes coming, people are going to start, we're getting a lot more inquiries again. So it's all about seasonal times, and I think people are also surfing the net more. Canada has been a big interest coming over here, and then you've got your Americans also looking for second homes, but basically Canadians and Europeans.
The Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeff Lloyd, says less than 50% of young men and women in the country are completing school and meeting minimum standards. And now the government is faced with the mammoth task of getting the education system where it must be. The minister, who was the guest speaker at the St. Barnabas constituency community meeting at the University of the Bahamas Monday night, says the number one focus of his ministry will be on some 8,000 3-year-olds not in the government school system. To date, he says the government system accommodates just 4,000 of them, but if those students can be reached early, there can be a turnaround in educational outcomes.
I intend to accomplish within the next 5 years that every 3-year-old in this country will be in a government-registered formal program. We are engagement now in conversation with the private sector, the church, and so on, and we are saying, listen, do you have space? Are you able to accommodate 3-year-olds? We'll pay for the teachers and the preschool and the teachers' aides. We'll pay for them. But you have space. And not just any space. You see, I say we're going to go back to the beginning, but not just go back to the beginning, because we are going back and we're going to do it right. Yes. Oh, we're going to do it right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why? Because at that beginning, like this building, that foundation has got to be solid.
One local resort is making major moves in the tourism sector and credits the nearly 100 Bahamian employees for their warm hospitality and top-notch quality service to guests who either dine or sleep in. LaDon Davis sat down with top executives of the 210-room plush resort in downtown Nassau.
With an 80% occupancy level, the Courtyard Marriott, that's footsteps away from several makeshift stalls lining Junkanoo Beach, is making a quantum leap in business since it officially opened its doors to visitors and locals nearly 2 years ago. General Manager Clinton Davis says the drive in business has a lot to do with the 100% Bahamian staff complement, whose sole purpose is to fuel the country's economy by bringing to visitors that down-home experience.
I would say we have about 9,000 per month that comes in, and of course it's arranged from the family islands, as well as we have a lot of local business and international guests. So we do have a bistro restaurant that's open to the public. It's open from the morning as well, straight up to dinner, as well as we do have a banquet and catering area as well.
How often do you guys have banquets here?
Oh my, it's every week now. It allowed us to actually hire an additional person in our sales office to help with the workload. So it's great for us and great for the Bahamian.
Director of Finance Leon Lundy says a small-scale resort had to shell out millions of dollars for renovations that were carried out by Bahamians during the first phase of the resort in 2013.
To date, the full cost of the renovation was about $36 million, and that included the first phase, which was a 112-room hotel, and then we started the second wing, which was about 83 more rooms. We added on in total, it's a 201-room hotel now, and also taken into account in that $36 million was the ballroom, like Mr. Davis pointed to.
A few frequent visitors we spoke to were more than eager to share with us why they keep coming back to the Marriott and to our shores year-round.
The staff has been absolutely great. They've accommodated us in everything we've needed. The hotel has given us everything, so we've been very pleased with it.
It is better in the Bahamas. I enjoy coming here. The hospitality that we receive is always amazing, and the people are just wonderful. I love the culture, I love the people, I love the beaches.
Just recently, the Marriott has attracted visitors from as far away as China, and executives say they plan to host a myriad of events to celebrate its second year in business. LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
Well, it's almost that time. We continue our Bahamas Carnival March to the weekend. We're going to talk about it tonight with two very famous participants here. We have Dyson Knight and Wendy joining us on the set.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Bahamas.
So are you ready for Carnival? What have you prepared?
Absolutely. I was born ready. And we have 4 new songs that we released for 2018. Book Smart, we have Just Vibes, Attitude, and most recently released Fling It Up. And you got to get yourself, you got to know them. You got to learn them before we hit the stage on Saturday. So go on YouTube and check those out. Definitely check them out on YouTube.
We won't do that here, but Wendy, you can explain that to us because I know you have the moves.
The moves, you want me to explain what's going to happen on the carnival stage? Well, of course, I'm going to have my dancers. Dyson is going to be jumping up. He's probably going to take off his shirt per usual. And we're going to have a fantastic time.
Absolutely.
So are you going to be on the road? Are you going to be in the march?
Definitely. We're on the road with Ecstasy, the band with the most vibes. And there's still a few more costumes left. So you can, if you don't have your costumes yet, go to ecstasy.band. Ecstasy.band for you and ecstasy.band for you if you want your costume and be on the road with us Saturday morning.
So this is the third or fourth year? I can't quite remember.
I believe it's the fourth.
Okay, we'll sort that out. But how has it progressed?
Oh, well, this year is totally different. This year it's all private, privately funded, and I wouldn't say there are any cuts. They were just a bit more intense and focused on what they wanted to present to the Bahamian people.
More targeted, I believe, is what you
want
to
so
say.
I think it's more authentic right now. It's all packaged in real nice, and the international appeal of it is a bit higher now that we have DJ Khaled and then Marshall is returning. So
and I mean, I think they're getting more experience in creating the carnival experience. So it's definitely going to be on fire this year for sure.
And are things merging? I know there was a little bit of friction about who was the star of the show, whether it was international or Bahamian artists. How do you see that?
Well, I see it like this. We would like to go to every other part of the region, every other part of the world, and demonstrate what we have to offer. And we need to have relevance in order to do that. So what this Bahamas Carnival is something that's relevant to what we are selling. We happen to be artists, Bahamian artists that are relevant to the show, and I think we have a really nice spot on a big stage to present our music.
Yes. And really quickly, you have the last word, Wendy.
I just want everyone to follow us on our social media. That's the only way you guys are going to learn the music. Follow us on youtube.com/Wendy242 and Dyson Knight, on Instagram, Wendy242 and Dyson Knight, of course, on Facebook, Wendy242 and Dyson Knight.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
A pleasure.
Well, stay tuned. There's more news to come.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm DeAndre Williamson. The Caribbean's largest aviation conference will take flight at the Atlantis Resort on June 12th. The third annual Caribbean Meetup's key objective is to find new ways to increase airlift in the region. The conference will feature presentations from 40 speakers, including Minister of Tourism and Aviation Dionisio de Aguilar. Topics up for discussion include regional airlines, airport development, and airlift impact on tourism and economy. The event ends on June 14th. In other business news, Bahamian artist Harry Wallace partners with the local corner trader buying an art exhibition. This endorsement is significant and directly connects the creative arts and private businesses. The art exhibition was successful and attracted government officials, bank executives, and business owners. Wallace's work will be on display at the corner trader until August. And in international business news, U.S. stocks fail as the latest round of corporate earnings fail to impress and investors focus on the start of the Federal Reserve's two-day policy meeting. The S&P 500 index fell 0.48% to $2,635.37. Oil prices declined on Tuesday, set for their lowest finish in about 2 weeks, amid signs of rising U.S. crude production and stockpiles. West Texas Intermediate fell 77 cents to $67.80 per barrel. That was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm DeAndre Williamson.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
Minister D'Aguilar, now the Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands. What are your summer vacation plans?
I'm going to go to the Family Islands of the Bahamas to bring tourism back to our family of islands.
And there's no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands from Nassau. Let's go. Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the Family Islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com today.
The performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Well, we're still on Carnival tonight. The countdown is on with this year's festivities set to begin in just a couple of days. If you're not ready, you better get ready because time is of the essence. But there's no need to feel overwhelmed by it all because we've got you covered. In this week's edition of Who Do You Call, Sieska Adderley outlines your must-haves for a true Carnival experience.
Come this weekend, hundreds are expected to converge on Clifford Park and Arawak Key for the 4th Carnival experience. With concerts, parties, and a road march on tap, the fete continues. And if you're interested in playing mass, Public Relations Officer for the Bahamas Carnival experience, Jade Knowles, says there's still time to do so. This as she shared her top 5 tips to making the most out of the Carnival experience. First things first, grab a costume.
You can't have a full Carnival experience unless you're on the road. Now, if you're not comfortable in a costume, I'd probably say join the t-shirt section, but you must get on the road.
Next, your body must be ready.
Getting your body in tip-top shape prior to Carnival, because it's a long day. You're on the road, you're dancing, you're gyrating, you're doing everything under the sun, even on the side. But if you're not in tip-top shape, you could possibly pass out. Do a little running or a little walking, just get your heart ready for that full weekend. I'm not saying you have to be a size 2 or a size 4, but you must be confident in your own skin. So once you get a costume, be happy in it.
Also, stay hydrated.
A lot of people kind of partake in that adult beverage, so that all day in the sun is kind of not a good thing if you're not hydrating prior to and also throughout the day. So whether you're on the road or even just on the side, like enjoying Carnival, hydrate. I cannot express that enough.
But listen up, because this next step, Jade believes, is the most important one of them all.
And Carnival is not Carnival unless you enjoy all of the parties and all of the concerts either leading up to Carnival or during the Carnival weekend. That is the ultimate Carnival experience. So I'd say get your tickets.
And rounding out your top 5 Carnival must-haves.
You have to come with an open mind to say that you're going to experience or have a great time this weekend or the days leading up to Carnival.
With those tips in hand, you're well on your way to having the ultimate Carnival experience. For more information, check out Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival's Facebook page. But if you have any other consumer-related issues, call me at 502-3871, and together we'll figure out who to call. Sieska Adderley, ZNS Network News.
All right, we have another Carnival reveler in the house tonight, Darren Bastian. You know him as a Junkanooer, but you're going to be on the road too. Where's your costume?
I'm wearing my costume. You see what I have on my chest? Enigma Bahamas Carnival. Sugar is our theme this year.
All right, so tell me what you're bringing to the road.
Well, once again, Enigma, our band is known for delivering very unique and exotic experiences. So one of the things you're going to find with us that's different from everybody else is that, while they just sell costumes, we sell an entire experience on the road. We're talking about snacks on the road as we go. We have a pizza stop on the road. We have our cold towel service. We have a massage bus. We have everything. So our band is known for being a cut above everybody else.
That's quite an experience. But talk about who you've been able to attract, I guess, bands in general.
Right.
Are we attracting more international spectators and participants?
Absolutely. We've attracted quite a bit of people, especially from the United States, and we're seeing those numbers continue to trend up. So we're very, very happy with that. I think in the future, as the numbers go up, more and more people are going to invite their friends as well once we deliver on what we promise. And that promise has a lot to do with quality service, a good product in terms of costumes and that type of thing. So yes, we're doing well in that area.
I asked Dyson and Wendy a second ago about how Carnival has changed. You're maturing now. How have things changed? How are they getting better? I'm sure things are coming together more smoothly now.
Definitely. I mean, when we started this about 3 to 4 years ago, clearly there was some learning that we had to do. But Bahamians are very, very skillful and resourceful people. We're very creative as well. So a lot of those things that we had challenges with in the past, we've moved past them. So we're looking forward to the future.
All right, thanks a lot, Darren Bastian of Enigma. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having us.
Well, just this programming note for you before we go to the break. You're invited to join ZNS TV tomorrow night for the premiere of a new local show, Agriculture Now with Carla Palmer. It's a show showcasing farmers and trends in agriculture as the Bahamas moves forward in its quest of self-sufficiency in food production. That's Agriculture Now with Carla Palmer, Thursdays at 8:30 and again on Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on ZNS. Well, stay tuned. There's more news to come. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
Agriculture Now returns to the ZNS Network Thursday, May 3rd. Learn about the country's capacity to feed itself through farming and fishing, and the importance of these industries to the economy. And find out how you can grow some of your own food right in your backyard. Tune into Agriculture Now beginning Thursday, May 3rd at 8:30 p.m. right here on the ZNS Network.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Me, she was going to Super Value and quality supermarkets for a little bit of this and a lot of that. Normally I'd be nervous, but not the great weekly specials like Rainbow Corned Beef, 12-ounce can, $1.89. Danish Spare Ribs, $2.49 per pound. Par Excellence Parboiled Rice, 5-pound bag, $2.99. Libby's Whole Kernel Corn or Sliced Beets, 15-ounce can, 99 cents. Whole watermelons, $3.99 each. Toffee and Bagels, 20-ounce pack, $1.89. Guilt-free shopping at Super Value and quality supermarkets.
All right, it's time now for your first check of weather. We check in with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Hey there, Basil.
All right, Keisha, right now we're going to jump right in and take a look at temperatures around the Family of Islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 77 at Freeport, Grand Bahama, 77 in Greenville, Key Marsh Harbor, 75. In the Berry Islands, Mercury column, there's 77, 77 also in Alistown, Bimini, here in the capital, Harbour Island, Eleuthera, Roxanne, Eleuthera, all at 77. Fresh Creek, Central Andrews, Camp Space at Andrews, and Stanley Key in the Exuma chain at 78. 77s again showing up in San Salvador, Rum Key, and Otterstown, Cat Island. Georgetown, Exuma, 79 degrees, 81 in Clarencetown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 80, 80 also in Acklands, Ragged Island, 81 degrees, Matthewtown, Inagua, 82, and 80 degrees in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the Northwest and Central Islands, northeast winds at 15 to 25 knots. Advisories are up for you small boaters. Very rough sea conditions at 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. High tide, that will take place at 8:55 tonight. In the southeast Bahamas, we have a caution flag up, easterly flow at 12 to 18 knots, and the wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. Tomorrow, for the Northwest and Central Islands, once again, advisories are up. The wind direction, northeast to east, 15 to 25 knots. Rough sea conditions again at 5 to 8 feet. High tide 9:14 in the morning, the low tide at 3:17 in the afternoon. For the southeast Bahamas, caution flags are up, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots, and the wave height 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And then taking you into Thursday in the Northwest and Central Islands, unchanged, those advisory continues, wave heights at 5 to 8 feet. High tide 9:55 in the morning, low tide 3:57 in the afternoon. For the southeast Bahamas, the caution flags are up, but the winds coming down just a tad to 12 to 18 knots, and the wave height subsiding 3 to 6 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast, and your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Stop the world, I want to get off. Stop the world and let me off. Tired of going round and round. I played the game of love and loss. You stop the world and let me off. Stop the world and let me off. I'm tired of going round and round.
And that's going to do it for your travel forecast, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 15 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, is a condition that occurs when an imbalance of hormone levels in a woman's body causes cysts to form in the ovaries. The cysts are like tiny fluid-filled balloons. PCOS can cause changes in a woman's menstrual cycle, fertility, hormone levels, heart and blood vessels, and appearance. Women can develop PCOS during their teenage or childbearing years. Usually women who have PCOS have irregular, infrequent, or no menstrual periods. They may also have trouble getting pregnant. Some women who have PCOS do not experience any symptoms. Other signs and symptoms of PCOS may include acne, overweight and obesity, excess hair growth on the face, nipple area, chest, lower abdomen, and thighs, thinning hair or bald spots, dark patches of skin, anxiety or depression, and pelvic pain. Women who have PCOS are also more likely to have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol and triglycerides. Together with obesity, these conditions are known as metabolic syndrome. If you or someone you know suspects symptoms of PCOS, see a doctor as soon as possible and get advice about diagnosis and treatment. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
It's the month of May Mother's Day Prize Palooza. Just buy these products and enter to win great gift cards or cash for your mom. There'll be 2 winners every week in the month of May Mother's Day Prize Palooza.
Everybody, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartender, do you see me? I on television. shit, I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, I'm on television. I don't have a TV in here.
We have Wi-Fi though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up before it's over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay?
To the greatest mother in the world, thank you. Happy Mother's Day from the both of us.
This is for me.
Oh my gosh!
So this is what we doing now? Okay, bro, watch this. For me, I have a surprise for you. Come with me.
You got to be kidding me.
Don't let your sibling one-up you this Mother's Day. Come on down to Connaught Bahamas and catch their Mother's Day sale today.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Kelsey Johnson, and welcome to Sports Tuesday. For many years now, sailors and regatta enthusiasts have been calling on the government to make regatta the national sport of the Bahamas. This cry, according to Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, who has responsibility for the sport, Renwood Wells, has not gone unheard, and change is on the way.
Exuma hosts the grandfather of regattas. And as I salute Exuma, I invite all stakeholders across our Bahamas to join with my team at the National Regatta Desk in pushing regattas to a wider national and international audience as a legitimate spectator sport in the Bahamas. And my leader, the Right Honorable Prime Minister of this country, has said that we will make sailing the national sport of this country during this term.
Skipper of the Running Tide, Stephen Knowles, bragged about winning the A-class before putting his sloop in the water. Here's who the Long Island sailor dedicated the win to.
I told him the A-class, they ain't beating the Running Tide today. It's nothing like it. No, sir. The Running Tide hasn't won this regatta in 2004. And Lauren Knowles sailed the boat, and that's my father. My father is 80 years old right now. He's right in Long Island sitting down, probably watching ZNS.
Now it's time for celebration.
Definitely, definitely. This one for the Running Tide, for all the old guys. My daddy Lauren, Mr. Lockett from Grace, Mr. Harry Harden, Mr. Roy Harden, all those old guys from Saltborn. They smile in the night in heaven.
At the 65th National Family Island Regatta was first in all classes. Skipper of the Lonesome Dove, Jeff Gale, was among the victors and an honoree.
Oh, fantastic to repeat again from last year. And the racing was really tight, especially the last 2 days. We had a photo finish yesterday, was on ahead of Lady Sonia, and then today it was back and forth with Terry Ann. So it was fantastic to pull it out.
One can arguably say that the win-loss record for the Bahamas at the recently held Beach World Soccer Cup tournament was just as important as the crowd support. Team Bahamas proved that they can play with the top countries in the world, and the fans showed that they are down for the host country no matter what.
Obviously, we're very pleased with the tournament. We're very pleased with the participation of the crowd, the support from the Bahamian community who have come out and support this event very enthusiastically all 3 nights. It was for us. It was an audition to be placed on the Beach Soccer Worldwide calendar, And as you can see from the comments from the head of Beach Soccer Worldwide, he was very pleased with the level of organization, the support from the fans, and we're now solidly entrenched in the Beach Soccer Worldwide calendar. So this will now be an annual event, so you will see this every May, end of April, beginning of May, here in the Bahamas for the foreseeable future.
Days after the NFL hosted their 2018 draft, local football players got a chance to show off their skills. Here's Charles Fisher.
Head coach of Life Preparatory Academy in Wichita, Kansas, Vincent Martin on the island, taking some 40 youngsters between the ages of 14 through 17 from the New Providence Youth American Football Association through a mini combine. It consisted of drills and techniques.
Hey, see? Hey.
He's been coming here for the last 5 years on a consistent basis.
Just based off of basic athletic ability, I make my decisions along with Coach Johnson. We try to pick the young men that have the character and integrity, the grades and all that. They can come and be a good fit in our program. We're a private Christian school and we specialize in getting international students into American colleges.
And over the last 5 years, 10 to 15 Bahamian students have been awarded the opportunity to enhance their skills overseas.
Now those 10 to 15 young men, 10 of them, I can say off the top of my head, have gone on to college, on college scholarships. And it's just been a blessing. And every year I come back and they've made strides. Like this year, you know, the field is here, it's striped, they're making the sacrifices. And it's showing in the young men. And what Coach Johnson does and what I do is very important in these young men through the mentorship and just the using football as a tool to be able to grow them into young men.
Young men being able to use football as a tool to change their lives. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
Thank you so much, Fisher. Her moves in the paint while playing the number 3 position for Eastern Wyoming College women's basketball team has landed her on top of the charts. Pamela Bethel was named to the NJCAA Division I All-American team, the All-Region South team, and All-Tournament team. She ranks number 1 in the NJCAA as the top rebounder in the nation, averaging 14.6 boards per game for a total of 467 rebounds this season. Bethel averages about 16 points per game and shoots 71% from the free throw line. Rashard Davis is headed to the University of Texas at Arlington. The former CC Sweeting Cobra, who led the squad to 2 Hugh Campbell basketball titles, signed with the Mavericks on Monday. He received a full 4-year scholarship.
First of all, I'd like to thank my Lord and personal Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving me this opportunity to live out my dreams. Also, I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting my story. I'd like to thank Mario Boleg, Darrell Says, my friends, family for sticking with me throughout this journey. It just proves that hard work really pays off, you know. All of you guys who know me, you know that I love the game. You know, I give it my all, blood, sweat, and tears. And for me to receive this blessing is just awesome. It just shows how much hard work really pays off. As soon as I step on campus, I just hope to make the biggest impact I can, you know, by doing whatever needs to be done to benefit the team, the program. Also like to just get a jump start on my studies, so thankful I'm able to do summer school. So in the fall and the spring I won't have to work as hard.
That's all the time we have for sports. I'm Kelsey Johnson.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Meet the Smith family. They're on vacation in the Caribbean. Since they aren't familiar with the islands and they want no hassle of renting a car, they downloaded Get Me Ride from their app store, a transport service in the Caribbean to provide safe and reliable transportation. All they need to do is open the app, input their location, and set their destination. Next time you need a ride, let Get Me Ride be there for you.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evo. Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evo.
James Aubrey. Now that Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the family islands, what are your summer vacation plans?
I'm going to Abaco.
And there is no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the family islands from Nassau. Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the family islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com and fly or cruise free to the family islands today.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, that starlord front system remain across the central islands, and that it continues to trigger a few showers and thunderstorms. We could even get 1 or 2 here in the capital as well, particularly as a result of the mixing due to the very strong winds. You can expect spotty showers tonight and tomorrow around the northwestern parts of our country. Tonight, though, we're going in for partly cloudy, breezy, and with spotty showers in the forecast. As we told you already, the low temperature getting down to 73 degrees. And tomorrow, it's going to be variable cloudiness, breezy again with showers in the forecast, high temperature of 85 degrees. And your extended weather forecast, we're going to keep those pop-up showers continuing right into Friday, and it looks as though things will dry out quite nicely on Saturday and even Sunday, and you will have the sunshine return, but early next week we're going to have those showers return into the forecast. So we're quickly approaching summer. Because of the heating effect, you'll start to get those pop-up showers, particularly in the late mornings and early afternoon hours.
Yeah, the Carnival revelers want to know about that window on the weekend. How's that looking?
Well, it's on. If it's on Saturday, they're pretty nice, as you saw in our 7-day forecast. Saturday is the best day out of this entire week.
All right, that works. Thanks, Basil.
Great weather.
That does it for us in the Bahamas tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks so much for looking in. Have a good night, everyone.